Over the past 6 decades, rocket technology has seen impressive progress. It's believed that about 35,000 rockets have journeyed to space in this period. Yet, with such swift advancements, mishaps are inevitable. Space agencies invest years perfecting their rockets, but a solitary mistake can render all that effort useless in just moments. From the U.S. to China, here's a glimpse at 5 rocket launch failures. In 2014, during the month of October, NASA planned to send an Antares rocket unmanned from the Virginia shoreline. The mission seemed straightforward: to supply the International Space Station, a task done repeatedly in the past. However, that particular launch didn't go as expected. Initially, everything appeared normal, but not for long. Inquiries into the rocket's malfunction ensued, and by the next year, details emerged. It was determined there was an eruption within the liquid oxygen turbopump of one of the 2 AJ-26 engines. This caused a loss of thrust, leading the rocket to plummet dangerously close to its launch site. The root cause of this catastrophe was traced to contact between stationary and moving parts inside the turbopump. The resultant friction caused the blaze. However, the exact cause remained elusive. Investigators proposed 3 potential factors, or possibly a mix of them: a design flaw making the engine more prone to oxygen fires, foreign debris like titanium or silica in the engine, or a manufacturing glitch in the engine itself. The exact culprit remained undetermined, but thankfully, the event claimed no lives. On July 1, 2013, a Russian rocket was slated for launch. But trouble arose almost immediately when the rocket deviated from its course. The footage showed the rocket tilting dangerously, which was a recipe for disaster. Shortly after, it disintegrated and plummeted to Earth, ending in a fiery explosion. Subsequent analyses suggested an emergency booster engine shut down roughly 17 seconds post-launch as the likely cause of the debacle. Fortunately, the rocket had no crew on board. However, it was loaded with 600 tons of highly hazardous kerosene and heptyl fuels, which scattered throughout the vicinity. Though these fuels emitted toxic fumes, an unexpected rain shower at the launch site helped in partially mitigating the spread. Yet, the residents of Baikonur, a town roughly 36 miles from the launch point, faced potential risks. They were promptly informed to remain indoors with their windows shut. The financial cost of the mishap was significant. The rocket was insured for 6 billion rubles, roughly equivalent to 182 million US dollars. This debacle was the latest in a string of rocket failures in Russia. Following the loss of 3 satellites in December 2010 due to another Proton rocket malfunction, all such rockets were grounded. An exhaustive inquiry followed, aiming to forestall similar incidents in the future. On January 17, 1997, a rocket named GPS-IIIR-1 was prepped for launch. It was designed to function as part of the U.S. Air Force's Global Positioning System. However, a mere 13 seconds post-launch, it disintegrated in a colossal explosion, turning anticipation into despair in a fleeting moment. Originating from Cape Canaveral, an examination revealed the rocket's automated self-destruct system had been triggered, causing the explosion. When the catastrophe transpired, the rocket was about 1,600 feet above the ground. This marked the lowest explosion altitude at Cape Canaveral since the 1965 Atlas Centaur, a C-5 mishap. Delving deeper, investigators pinpointed a flaw, a fissure in the casing of the rocket's second solid motor. This defect worsened rapidly. By the 12-second mark, Debris from the ruptured casing impaired an adjacent motor, rendering the mission unsalvageable. A manual detonation command was then issued for safety. Locals were cautioned to remain indoors and seal their windows due to the potential harmful fumes. Despite the precautions, the shockwave was powerful enough to damage storefronts up to 10 miles from the explosion. Thankfully, no lives were lost in this unfortunate event. The Vanguard TV-3 marked America's inaugural attempt to orbit a satellite around the Earth. The world had already witnessed the Soviet Union's triumphs with Sputnik 1 and 2. In response, the U.S. conceived the Vanguard TV-3. This petite satellite was developed to assess the launch prowess of the three-tiered Vanguard and to understand orbital effects on the spacecraft. Additionally, it aimed to gather geodetic data through orbit examination. But the pivotal phrase here is aimed to. Scheduled for December 6, 1957, the rocket started faltering just 2 seconds post-launch. It plummeted back, crashing into its own launch pad. As it grounded, its fuel compartments burst, leading to an explosion. The aftermath was a decimated rocket and severely damaged launch facilities. Despite numerous failures throughout the year, the U.S. candidly acknowledged them. Vanguard's most prominent misfire happened at 1957's close. While other Vanguards managed to lift off, they faced challenges in their second or third phases. Post-incident analyses were inconclusive but pointed towards a potential fuel system glitch. Although the satellite couldn't be rescued, it later adorned the National Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian. On February 15, 1996, the Intelsat 708, crafted by American firm Space Systems Loral, was slated for launch from China's Xikang satellite launch center. The rocket's ascent immediately seemed amiss, veering off course. Subsequent footage captures the rocket's fiery descent, ending in a calamitous crash. The wreckage landed in a proximate village, resulting in 6 reported casualties. Yet, U.S. speculations hinted at a significantly higher toll. A media crew's visit revealed large-scale infrastructural damage in the village. The calamity's route was traced back to a glitch in the rocket's navigational mechanism. This incident compelled China's Long March rocket program to bolster its reliability, staving off another malfunction until 2011. Yet, the ramifications weren't merely technical. The event triggered a massive political maelstrom in the U.S. An American probe concluded that classified details from the post-mortem were illicitly shared with China. Consequently, Space Systems Loral faced a hefty $20 million fine for breaching export regulations. In essence, rocket launches, despite their risks, remain integral to our contemporary lifestyle. However, despite the investments in terms of time and resources, there's no absolute guarantee of flawless executions. The best space agencies can do is absorb the lessons from these setbacks, aiming to preemptively curb any future mishaps. Don't forget to click on the displayed link to view 5 maritime launches that took a wrong turn. As always, we appreciate your viewership and look forward to connecting again soon.